Hello ladies and gentlemen, Panzer here, and welcome back to Dreadnought. Now, before we begin, just a couple of things that I wanted to mention. Now, we do have a community Discord server, so if you guys are playing Dreadnought or Galactic Junk League or any of the games on the channel, and you would like to play with more people, there is a community Discord which will be great for you to be able to find more people to play with. I'll leave the link down in the description below, or in the comments section if I remember to put it there. But yeah, that is a link to the channel. Now, you will need a verified email to speak, so of course anybody that joins, just make sure that you have signed up and all that. And don't forget to introduce yourselves when you join, so we know that you've joined us and where you've come from. Another thing as well, I've always been putting this in the description of the videos. There are a number of social medias that you can actually follow me on. I do stream on Twitch as well, and I would recommend that you follow me there, because I do live streams fairly often. And on Twitter as well, because I've realized that some days that if I need to quickly update you guys with something, Twitter is the fastest way to do it. So, of course, to be able to stay up with the latest updates on the channel, you would be able to get that a lot faster if you are following me on Twitter. And of course, Discord is where I announce a few things as well early as well. One last thing as well, the channel has been moving along fairly slowly as of late, and that's prompted me to try out a lot of very different things. And I have actually redone my Patreon page. Now, you might have seen this in the header of the channel for a long time, but you can actually now support the channel directly on Patreon. And the rewards have been tweaked to reflect that now. And basically, if you're a patron of the channel, you know, you're helping to support the growth of the channel as well. And you're helping to support me in the making of videos and many things besides. So, really, there's a lot of benefits for doing that, but of course, you know, I try to reward you guys as much as possible, you know, try to give back to those who support me, but I'll try to do whatever is feasible between now and then. But, yeah, that's basically what we have right now. So, without further ado, let's get on with today's video. And today's video, we're going to be covering what I'm calling the low-tier Morningstar. If you have the Founders Pack that includes the Morningstar, you may have noticed there is two versions of the actual ship. Now, there is the Morningstar, which is over here in my veteran fleet. That's this Morningstar over here. And this is the full version of it with the crests and the sort of cosmetics on it. However, there is actually a low-tier one as well, which is this one. Now, stats-wise, they are very similar, and their playstyle is very similar. In fact, they have the same sort of abilities, with a couple of differences, and that really comes down to the lack of officer briefings, which is not available on Tier 2 and below ships. So it kind of looks like a beat-up, kind of unfinished Morningstar, but it has very similar abilities. So if you like the playstyle of the Morningstar and you want to play it at different tiers, I'm going to show you the PCF Morningstar, the low-tier Morningstar here, and I'm going to show you how exactly it plays and how similar it really is to the full Enchilada. Alright, and if the sound quality or voice quality is a little bit different, that's because I'm recording this on a completely different day. See, in between the time that I did the intro and getting into a game, my neighbors decided to start hacking up the floors downstairs, so basically all you'll be able to hear is jackhammers in the background. So it has actually taken a couple of days for things to calm down a little bit. So I'm just recording this on a completely different day. Right, so we're in a match. This is Team Deathmatch, if I remember right. So I'm doing all of this in post, by the way. I've actually recorded this separately, and you can see I'm just switching over to the Morningstar here. So let's just jump in and see how things go. Alright, here we are. I believe this is Rings of Saturn, so let's see how this really plays out. There are a lot of very heavy ships on this particular team. We do have 2 corvettes, though, interestingly enough. So, like I said, this is the low-tier Morningstar. This is the PCF Morningstar. So, not to be confused with the main one. This, I believe, is the Tier 2 version of that. Forgive me if I'm repeating stuff from the intro. I just can't really remember what exactly I said. So, if I'm repeating stuff, feel free to let me know about it down in the comments. I'm sure you will. But yeah, it's a very slow and lumbering ship, as you might expect from, well, a Dreadnought class, really. So just having a look here, we're going to be using the warp jump. So this is the ability number 4, or the 4th ability on the Morningstar. And really, Dreadnoughts are an interesting class of ship. You really don't have the mobility, even with, and you'll notice I don't really use the power to engines all that much, because simply the momentum of such a large ship, oh geez, just getting in the way of that teammate there. Thankfully, he's not really in too bad a position, so we didn't really screw him over that badly. Definitely want to be aware of what's happening. But yeah, the mobility is enhanced with having the power to the engines. But the problem is with the actual weight of these particular ships, slowing them down is a bit of a problem. So you don't really want to charge headlong into battle just like that. So I do use the warp jump quite a bit more to just get around. You can see just taking a couple of pot shots at enemies, not really trying to engage them in any serious capacity. One thing you are going to see in this match, and a little spoiler warning, this match doesn't turn out too well for the team, but we do actually give them a pretty good showing towards the end there. But you're going to see the power of having a tactical cruiser very close by. So we've got a destroyer, I believe that's a Trafalgar over there, firing away at us, just chipping away at our armor. But there's a tactical cruiser that's healing me back up here. So I've put the tractor beam onto that artillery cruiser just to stop him from pulling away too quickly, keeping him stationary so he can't really get away from that Corvette. You can see we got that kill there, or rather the assist there. That Corvette really messed him up. But he just used the warp jump to where that Corvette was. One thing that's really interesting about the way you play the Morningstar is really making use of that warp jump to both engage and disengage. So looking around for where your team is especially important. So doing this, we managed to get the jump on this tactical cruiser right here. I tried using the flank cannons here, but I didn't realize they were just outside of range. So I'm just putting the power to weapons here just to really get some shots away at this. But I was still not really that used to the lead on these plasma turrets, so I was missing quite a number of shots. But firing off the missiles there to really put the damage down on that tactical cruiser. Didn't realize at that point in time there was a destroyer underneath there, so I was happily firing away at this Dreadnought down here without realizing that I was flying right into danger. So thankfully that destroyer didn't quite see us, and there was a Corvette coming to engage him, but that could have ended up really, really badly for me. So at this point I still haven't seen him, and there we go. Now I've actually noticed that that TAC cruiser is actually healing a destroyer there. So we're firing off this broadside, and just look at the sheer amount of damage you can do. That broadside, the scattergun broadside, really, it doesn't have a lot of range, and of course it is a broadside, so it only works when your flanks are actually shown to the enemy. So just putting the power to the weapons there just to finish off that tactical cruiser there, but really taking a lot more damage than we want to. But this tactical cruiser behind us really supporting and really keeping us alive. You can see it's just barely out healing the damage from that destroyer there. So even though I can't quite put the damage down on him just yet, that cruiser actually really helped me get that kill. Now, see, taking a lot of missile fire from this, but the shields came up just in time. And of course that tactical cruiser still healing me while this destroyer came in. So really in this case the problem was that this Dreadnought here, I believe that is a Morningstar as well, just came in at the wrong time. If he had come in much sooner than that, then it would have been definitely us in trouble. That nuke coming in right on top of us. I don't think I actually got the shield out. I think I might have completely missed out on the shield, but we managed to just out-heal it. Nukes can be very, very dangerous. If I was in a destroyer, that would have been me dead. But in this case, somehow we managed to survive that. So here I'm just typing to this cruiser here, that healing, really thanking him for the heals, because that was some spectacular support work there. So I'm warping over to the destroyer that's up there, just above the station, try to get into a better position, but I think I might have actually mistargeted that a little bit. So I'm all the way on this side instead. I've just come across a destroyer that is actually trying to flank the team right now. While destroyers basically are the medium tanks in this situation, they are not the front line firepower per se, but they are very good at supporting fire. And just putting power to the engines here, and you can see the big difference in speed when you do that. But yeah, the destroyers don't really want to be the ones taking the hits, but they can dish out the damage when necessary. So it is possible for them to flank, and it can be quite dangerous if they do so unnoticed. But I was just dropping below this asteroid chunk here, just having a look at where this destroyer possibly went. I thought he had gone underneath it, but it appears that he didn't. And there he comes, just the bow of the destroyer poking out there. And we can see that's a nuclear torpedo right there. It's a Goliath, I believe, and it's just coming in. Managed to hit that tactical cruiser up there. I believe that's a tactical cruiser anyway. Didn't manage to get the kill, however. But I wouldn't have noticed it if I didn't see our Dreadnought poking his head out there. So I really wasn't on the ball there. Completely disoriented. But here we go, jumping over to just a little bit ahead. You can see that somebody is calling for a regroup, and I was just at this moment trying to look around to see where is he exactly talking about. I'm not entirely sure. We're just outside of the station ring itself here, definitely out of range of any of these targets right now. But definitely what I'm trying to do at the moment is just really look around, see what's happening around me, trying to stay aware of what's happening. I can see on the map where the enemies are, but I don't really know how far away exactly that is. Something that I'm still learning is really the distances on that map. So I do know that there was a point in time where the voices, or rather the... There we go, so the weapons officer was calling weapons lock, and I wasn't sure exactly what that was referring to, so I was kind of looking around to see what was in range. And couldn't quite figure it out, so I just sort of left it at the time. But yeah, now just dropping down to get some cover, because they do have an artillery cruiser somewhere at the back there. And you're going to see in a moment, I do actually drop into his line of sight. I don't think he takes the shot. I can't remember if he does. But definitely I was dropping down to stay in cover from him. Now I can see the destroyer over here trying to take some shots at me. I'm just within range to hit him. But over here I'm still trying to learn how to lead those shots. But I can see that our Dreadnought is up there. So I'm just warping over to where he is. Definitely, this was probably a mistake because I didn't realize exactly how close I was to the enemy team. And I thought I fired off my missiles here, but I didn't, so I fired it off at that destroyer over there. Big mistake because, of course, you want to prioritize your targets. You don't want to split your damage in any way, shape, or form. And I unwittingly flew in front of our other Dreadnought over there, which basically cut off his ability to fight. And then you can see just all of the firepower coming to me now with that destroyer really hitting me. And we were all just pinned behind that rock. So not really much you could do there, and that really was a big mistake on my part. Both Dreadnoughts now going down because of that single mistake. And, you know, I will freely admit that, yeah, that was definitely not something I should have done. Definitely should have looked at where the team was before warping in there. Because one thing I haven't really quite figured out is exactly where the game will position you should you choose to warp to someone. Since you can seem to only warp to other ships, you can come to their aid very effectively, but it's very hard to know exactly where you will be. Like in this case, I warped right into the line of fire of that artillery cruiser and actually nearly stopped him from being able to engage. So quickly about turned, trying to stop him from being stuck there. And then that's where I noticed there's another Dreadnought that is stuck over here. And he seems very isolated from the team. But there goes a nuclear missile being fired off. And this Trafalgar, I'm not entirely sure what he was doing there. But, oh, and there goes that nuke that I was talking about. It just detonated right above me. Just managed to avoid getting hit by it. So you can see I'm taking a bit of damage from multiple directions here. I'm quite out in the open, so I was jumping back over to that destroyer over there. Just to kind of get back into cover a little bit, and then I realize I'm in range of this Dreadnought, so of course tractor beam away, try to stop him from getting too far away, hopefully, but he still manages to get some distance on us. So of course he's put up his shield, and I think there is a tactical cruiser trying to fire its beam at him, but just outside of range.
Thank you.
But yeah. Managed to put some fire down on that Dreadnought, and then of course showing a mistake of an enemy player really is just how he got cut off and isolated from his team. So that's really not something you want to do. Dreadnoughts are unfortunately very slow and lumbering beasts, but with that warp jump ability they can definitely be very useful should they have line of sight with a teammate. Unfortunately, if you get cut off like that, there's absolutely no way you can use something like that. And you can see our friend in the tactical cruiser. That's an Orca's tactical cruiser there. That is coming up to heal us once again, putting the repair beam on us. And see, I'm trying to use my tractor beam here to isolate this tactical cruiser. And that's where the game ends. Unfortunately, that would have been a tactical cruiser that was out of options. But unfortunately, we lost it just on the points here. And you can see as the game ends just how close it really was, 84 to 100, but definitely a very, very close match there. Well, that's all we have time for, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to leave a like, and of course subscribe if you are new to the channel. And of course comment down below if there's a particular ship you would like to know a bit more about, if you would like me to play it and give my thoughts on it. Feel free to suggest that down in the comments below. And of course, check out the playlist for more Dreadnought videos. And my name is Panzer. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.